Let me tell you a story about two friends, Jake and Ryan. Jake is the definition of a hard worker, always grinding, putting in long hours, and constantly chasing success. He wakes up early, checks his emails before breakfast, and barely takes breaks. By the time he crashes into bed at night, he's exhausted, but somehow still feels like he's falling behind. Ryan, on the other hand, he's the opposite. He wakes up late, rarely seems busy, and never looks stressed. Yet he's always on top of things. He gets things done effortlessly, makes more money than Jake, and still has time to relax, travel, and enjoy life. At first, Jake thought Ryan was just lucky, but then he discovered the real reason Ryan was winning at life, and it wasn't because he worked harder, it was because he hacked his laziness. Here's the plot twist. Ryan wasn't actually lazy. He just understood that laziness isn't a weakness, it's a secret weapon. He used something called the 20-second rule, a psychological trick that makes winning effortless. And today, I'm gonna show you how you can do the same. By the end of this video, you'll realize that laziness is not your enemy, it's your biggest advantage. Let's dive in. We've been told our entire lives that being lazy is bad. Teachers, parents, bosses, everyone warns us that laziness leads to failure. But what if I told you that's a lie? What if laziness isn't a flaw, but an evolutionary survival mechanism? Think about it. Humans are wired to conserve energy. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors didn't waste energy. They worked just enough to survive, hunt, and gather food. The rest of the time, they rested, they strategized, they focused on what actually mattered. Fast forward to today, and the most successful people in the world aren't the hardest workers, they're the smartest workers. Take Bill Gates, for example. He once said, "I choose a lazy person to do a hard job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it." Why? Because laziness forces efficiency. It makes you look for shortcuts, automation, and smarter ways to get things done. The difference between people who struggle and people who win isn't how hard they work, it's how well they use their energy. And that brings us to the 20-second rule, the tool that makes laziness work for you instead of against you. The science behind laziness. Here's something fascinating. Your brain is wired to be lazy. And that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's a built-in mechanism designed to help you. Your brain is constantly looking for the path of least resistance, the easiest, most effortless way to get from point A to point B. That's why you automatically reach for your phone instead of reading a book. That's why hitting snooze feels better than jumping out of bed. But here's the trick. You can hack this instinct to work in your favor instead of against you. Imagine this. You want to go to the gym, but your workout clothes are buried at the bottom of your closet. Every time you think about working out, you have to dig through a pile of laundry just to find your gear. That tiny bit of effort, it's enough to make your brain say, "Forget it, I'll go tomorrow." Now flip the script. What if your gym clothes were already laid out next to your bed? Suddenly, it takes zero effort to get dressed and go. Your brain doesn't resist it because the path of least resistance is now the right path. That's the 20-second rule in action. The idea is simple. If you want to build a good habit, make it easier. If you want to break a bad habit, make it harder. Want to read more? Keep a book on your pillow so you have to pick it up before you sleep. Want to drink more water? Keep a bottle on your desk instead of in the fridge. Want to stop wasting time on social media? Move your apps to a hidden folder so they take effort to access. Want to stop eating junk food? Keep it out of the house or store it in the highest cabinet so you have to grab a chair to reach it. Find yourself watching too much Netflix? Sign out of your account. That extra 20 seconds of logging in tricks your brain into deciding if it's really worth it. By making positive actions 20 seconds easier and negative actions 20 seconds harder, you're tricking your brain into choosing success automatically. Most people fight their bad habits, instead make them inconvenient, and your laziness will work for you instead of against you. Let's look at some real-life examples of successful people who use this strategy effortlessly. You might think the most successful people in the world are workaholics, grinding 24/7, but in reality, they're just really good at making success effortless. Warren Buffett thinks more, works less. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, spends most of his time reading and thinking, not constantly working. Why? Because making the right decision once is more powerful than working endlessly on the wrong thing. Jeff Bezos, the power of doing less but smarter. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, didn't build one of the world's most valuable companies by working harder than everyone else. He built it by working smarter. Instead of micromanaging every part of Amazon, he focused on high leverage decisions, things that would have a big impact with minimal effort. One of his core philosophies: if I have to make a decision more than once, I automate it or delegate it. Instead of handling emails all day, he made clear company policies so his team didn't need to ask him for approval. Instead of holding endless meetings, he required teams to submit a 6-page written memo, forcing them to think clearly before wasting time. Instead of managing warehouse logistics, he invested in automation and AI, making Amazon's shipping system one of the most efficient in the world. Bezos hacked his natural laziness by setting up systems where the hard work was done for him. So, if one of the richest men in the world avoids unnecessary effort, why wouldn't you? The students who ace exams without cramming. Ever notice how the students who get the highest grades aren't always the ones pulling all-nighters? The smart students make studying effortless. They put flashcards on their desks so reviewing takes zero effort. They stick notes on the wall so they absorb information without trying. They create simple summaries instead of rereading entire textbooks. They're not working harder, they're making learning automatic. Let's break down exactly how you can apply this today. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. Just follow these 3 simple steps and your laziness will actually start making you more productive. Step 1, identify one habit you struggle with. Do you keep skipping workouts? Struggle to eat healthy? Waste too much time on your phone? Pick just one habit. Step 2, apply the 20-second rule. Make good habits 20 seconds easier. If you want to eat healthier, cut up fruits and veggies in advance so they're ready to grab. Make bad habits 20 seconds harder. If you waste time on social media, log out of your account so you need to type your password every time. Step 3, stick to it for a week. Your brain is wired to take the easy path. Once you make good habits effortless and bad habits annoying, you'll start winning automatically. Now, before we wrap up, what happened to Jake and Ryan? The shocking twist, what happened to the 2 friends? Remember Jake, the hard worker who was always grinding, and Ryan, the lazy friend who always seemed to have things under control? Well, it turns out Ryan wasn't lazy at all. He just knew how to work smart. He used the 20-second rule to set up his life in a way that made success automatic. Meanwhile, Jake kept doing things the hard way, grinding, forcing himself through willpower, and burning out. So now I have a question for you. Are you going to keep fighting your laziness, or are you going to turn it into your biggest advantage? The choice is yours. Comment below what's one thing you're going to make 20 seconds easier starting today. I want to hear from you. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more smart strategies that make life effortless. Thanks for watching. Now go and start winning without working harder.